All right. Yes, we're ready. Recording. You can start.
Hi everyone. Since there are 6 people here, so I encourage you to stop me when you want to, because I would like interactive discussion here. If you have any question, if you don't understand anything, so you can raise your hand, and then Vish can stop me, and then you can ask questions. Let's do that. Okay. I'm sorry, not this one. One second. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Let's see. Can you all see my screen now? But not the presentation note.
No, not the presentation notes.
Okay,
just the PowerPoint slides. You're great.
Okay, great. Hi everyone, I'm Jan Jari Shenvishai. I'm Thailand-based corporate outreach manager for Sinergia Animal. And let's take a very quick look about us. We like to introduce Sinergia Animal to all of you. And we are international animal protection NGO, and we working in global south country only for 2 main reasons. We want to reduce the animal suffering and end the cruelest practice within the food industry. Second, we want to promote more compassionate and healthy diet. We are currently in 4 countries in Latin America, in Chile, Colombia, Argentina, and Brazil. And we are 2 countries in Southeast Asia, in Thailand and Indonesia. And for the past 2 years, in 2018 and 19, we were recognized as one of the most effective animal protection NGO, evaluated by animal charity evaluators. We are also members of the global coalition called Open Wing Alliance, the coalition of more than 70 NGOs which share the same goal to end the cage confinement for the laying hens. And people ask why we work in global south country only. There's 3 main reasons. Number 1 is that these countries in global south share many similarities. The economics, the political environment are very similar. And the same apply to the animal cruelty awareness. Not many people are aware of the animal cruelty behind the food production, and the cruelty behind the production is kept in shadow. People do not know about it. And also, the last reason why we chose to work in a global south country is that the animal rights movement is fairly new in the region, and we want to move this movement forward. We want to make this animal rights movement stronger. And we have started working in 2017. And by far, this is what we have done. We had over 30 corporate cage-free egg policy, and that includes the biggest supermarket in Argentina, the major fast food chain in Chile, and 2 of the most important food producers in Colombia. We also set the deadline for regional commitment for multinational companies like Subway, Nestle, and Dunkin' Donuts. And we have also developed 13 corporate campaigns, and we have the support of 15,000 activists from 5 different countries in South America. And we have carried out more than 50 street actions in 4 different countries, as the one you saw in the photos. We have launched 6 investigations reviewing animal cruelty in eggs and dairy industry in Chile, Argentina, and Colombia. And with that, resulted in more than 450 media hits. Now let's come back to Asia. Asia, you can see here, this pie chart here illustrates the global egg production. And you can see here that Asia is the largest chunk. The orange pie, the orange chunk, that's Asia. And Asia contribute with more than 60% of the global output. And that's mean 3 billion birds are in Asia. And in Thailand, there are around 94 million laying hens. And the egg production in Thailand is around 41 to 42 million per day. And domestic consumption is around 38 to 39 million eggs. Now, this is interesting. If you see here, these are the top 5 egg producer in Asia. Number 1 is CP, that's from Thailand. You see Japan player, you see Japan producer Ise, you see Bangladesh, number 3. And now you see that there's, you see that the name appear twice. And that's the green name appear twice. And that's the producer that coming from Thailand, but they have different facility. They have different production in different country, but that's from the same producer. Now let's look at the different types of policy. We have 2 kinds of policy in Asia, in Thailand at the moment. The first commitment, the first kind of commitment being the global or the regional commitment, which is the commitment that apply to the whole continent or the whole region. And that's include Thailand. We also have the country specific commitment, meaning the policy never, the corporation never announced a policy before, but decided to commit or announce the policy for that specific country. And I show you here, I give you here an example of Tesco Lotus. They never had cage-free policy in, I think, in the region before. So Thailand is the first country they announced the cage-free policy. And next, you will see all the corporations that already announced the commitment in Thailand. Most of them are the global policy. And down below are the country specific policy, being Subway, Tesco, Lotus, Burger King. The first 2, Tesco and Subway, they committed in 2019. Burger King announced this year. Minor Hotel is the large hotel group originated in Thailand, the headquarters in Thailand. They announced the global policy this year, and that includes Thailand. So 4 policy coming from Thailand since we started working 1 year ago. And next, you see the number of policy in Asia. We have, if you see the whole list, you see Japan, Taiwan, and Thailand are the top of the list. Japan, most of the work led by the Human League. And in Taiwan, most of the commitment led by East. And in Thailand, most of the work is led by Sinergia Animal. Now let's look at the challenges for the corporate outreach in Thailand. This is also, this is our observation. And we find that the public, we find that the consumers they are not aware of the cruelty. And people have very minimum awareness of how the laying hens are raised or the farm animal welfare in general. And also Asian culture, Thai culture, they're not receptive of the harsh images. They don't like graphic investigation video. In general, countries in Asia, they respect harmony and conformity, and they they're not necessary being receptive of street actions, yeah, or graphic images. And also to carry out campaign in Thailand, there are legal and political restrictions that we have to be aware of. And that apply to many countries in Asia. And next is the challenges from the corporation. That the same goes to the corporation because the public, they are not aware of the cruelty. The corporation also not aware of the cruelty, and that's why they do not see the benefit of going cage-free. They don't see business value. Some company even tell me they don't see the PR value of going cage-free. And also the corporation in Asia, they have the culture of avoiding risk. They do everything, being Asian companies, they do everything to avoid risk. So they will not commit unless they do all the analyzing. They know for sure that they have enough supply. They know the lead time, the exact lead time. So they really want to be certain on researching and analyzing before they commit anything. They will not announce anything and then try to work it out later on. And next is the study and the research. It's not enough. The research or study we've seen are always coming from the European countries or in the US. Not enough research and study being done in Asia, in Thailand. In Thailand is we have very limited sources of the research and study, and it's all go with the numbers of NGOs working in Thailand. As far as we know, there are Sinergia Animal is the only one working in cage-free campaign at the moment, but there are more. There are more NGOs coming, and we need more people working in this cage-free movement. And the next concern is that there's not enough supplies, there's not enough cage-free farmers in Asia, in Thailand. And also in Thailand, surprisingly, the egg producer, they are the best friends of the government. The powerful egg producer are like holding hands with the livestock department. They are working in favor of each other, and that's hard for us to work for the animal when we have the egg producer or being the best friend of the livestock department. And next, this is from our experience, and also for Thailand and also in Latin America. We found that what works for us is the investigation, and I want to show you next one. This is the investigation led by another NGO. However, followed by the conversation with us that resulted the corporation announcing the policy, announcing the cage-free commitment as Tesco. And for Thailand, we recently launched the egg documentary. That one it's not a campaign for any specific company. It's to raise the public awareness, but this investigation is already creating a lot of impact already. We have the government coming out trying to defend themselves in countless press releases. So we are seeing impact of investigation in corporate outreach in Thailand. And next one, I like to, sorry, I have to go back. Sorry, everyone. And next one, this is, I like to share with you what works for Thailand. I hope you can take my lesson and see if it works for your own country. We have been releasing the newsletter or the corporate update. We send this to the corporation in our list, and every 2 weeks they will get update from us, and that gives us a very good position as being in the know, as being in the leader of the animal welfare, and that keep us in the closed loop, in the close communication with the corporation. And I see, next one, I see that the pressure coming from different NGO is working. Is the pressure coming from everywhere, from different NGO, and that really bothers the corporation, and that make our work faster. And also, this is from our experience, is for Thailand, we have to find the right person to make it work in Thailand. We have to find the right person, and the right person meaning it can be the person working in the corporate communication. It can be the person. It can be the director of sustainability or CSR. So always we have to find the right activists in the organization, in the corporation. And my way of finding the activists within the corporation is through different channels. We always have to dig really deep. We have to do deep research online, offline, and sometimes just deep research doesn't work. We have to pick up the phone. We really have to talk to someone and find out the right person we have to talk to. And I also leverage my personal contacts. So any old stack of name cards you have to reach out family and friends. I do everything. So these are my three main channels of finding the right person: cold calling, deep research, and personal contact. And by far within 1 year of work, we had 4 commitments in Thailand, and we carried out 2 local corporate campaigns and 1 regional corporate campaign led by East. And we have 1 investigation so far. And I think we have created a lot of impact in the country, and it's looking very, very promising in Thailand. And we all should be very proud of our work to be part of this. And we have to push this forward. We have to work together. Any questions?
Thank you so much, June. I think we have some questions in the chat. People, if you don't have anything to share at all, your experience or your thoughts, it doesn't have to be questions. You can also share as well. This is the platform for you. But I just go through the questions that we have in the chat first, mostly from me. I just feel like it's interesting to share. So the first is actually a genuine question. I think I kind of missed why the name of CP food appears 2 times in one particular slides. So I would really appreciate if you could explain again why the name of CP Foods appears 2 times.
Yes. This egg producer is very big. They have facility in Thailand. They have facility in many countries in Asia. I understand that Jonathan told us they are building facility in Taiwan, and they are giant egg producer that have facility in many countries, and that's make them the top egg producer in Asia, and they have many companies. But then you see in the slides the CP Group and then CP Food, and they are so they are the one in the country, and then the other company having multinational facilities.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah, that explains. They they are like they seem to have been very successful in making the expansion throughout Asia. So the next question is about corporate campaign from Jonathan. So the question is, do you usually contact all the contacts at once, or first research out to the most relevant one and then try others if they don't respond?
My best practice is I love to do deep research, and I like to hit the right person, and by far the most successful one is always the CEO. So I first contact the CEO, and then he will lead me to the right person, and that could be the corporate communication person, or sometimes supply chain person. So yeah, so that's the deep research leading to the highest, the biggest management you can find, and then they will lead you to the right person within the corporation.
Oh, thank you. I think I've heard of this question before. It's not in the chat, but I think maybe some people would like to know. Would you be able to share your process when you research for emails or telephone numbers? What tools do you use, and like what process do you normally go through when you're trying to look for these contacts?
We have different tools. We use rocket search. We use find that email. We use, and then when we find that maybe it's different. It's different for different it's different way to find the email address in different countries. In Thailand, for you to find the right domain of the email address, sometimes you have to go to like the job searching website, because they like the human resource people, sometimes they like to post their email address in the job searching website, and then you find a email domain, the email pattern from the job searching website. And also, yeah, rocket search has been really helpful. Find that email, and then once you find the email, you have to verify if the email is working, and then you can use verifythatemail.com, and we also use Hunter as well. Yeah, I hope everyone is familiar with this search services that I mentioned. If not, I will list it down below for you. I will list it in the chat box for you.
Yeah, that would be great as well. You can also list it and send it to me, and I can send the list to the participants later on as well.
Sure.
So you don't have to juggle too many things during the webinar. So yeah, I don't think there's. Oh yeah, there's one more question. So if all else fails, if the email doesn't work and no one responds, and you have to call, who do you usually call first? I mean, if you can't find the telephone numbers of the CEO or anybody who seems to be relevant to the case, to the animal welfare in that company at all, who do you usually call first, and what do you say?
It's so different.
Different?
It's so different from company to company. The local,
Okay.
the very local Thai Chinese company, the top management, sometimes they don't want to talk to us, and because, yeah, I think the similarity here, the company, if the management, if they are local Thai Chinese, they are not aware. They have not worked with many NGOs, and sometimes they refuse to talk to us. They don't know. They don't know how to deal with NGO, and sometimes they just shun. They just don't want to talk to us. However, if the management, if the top management are from European countries, maybe they're from the US, they have dealt with NGOs before, and they would agree to talk to us. They wouldn't just say no. Yeah, and then it does make our work easier, because they at least they agree to talk to us. They agree to communicate. Yeah, so I would suggest to even though the email, the phone call doesn't work, I have been try to. That's okay. That sound like, maybe it may sound like a it may sound like a stupid recommendation, but then you really have to leverage everything. So I would dig through personal contact. I would reach out to anyone in your network, people in Open Ring Alliance, friends, family, everywhere. And it can be really tricky to find the right person. And sometimes some companies, some local Thai Chinese, even though you have the phone number of the CEO, they are the right person, but then they just refuse to talk to you. They don't want to talk to you at all. They don't, like I said, they don't know how to deal with NGOs. And yeah, this one are the top. They are very difficult.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, June. We have two more questions. And everyone, please feel free to send questions to the chat panel if you have any. We'll still have time. So the next question is, what do you do when companies stop responding? That happens a lot. So yeah, I'm sure people who work with corporate outreach will have two experiences from every now and then. So please share with us how you deal with them, June.
I would apply pressure. I would apply pressure, such as we need to send update to the media. Yeah, we need to, yeah, or we have to tell them that, you know, this is for instance, in Thailand, the government already going forward. They made announcement that they want to convert the industry to go cage free, and that means applying the pressure from the government's announcement. Yeah, so applying the pressure, maybe coming from the media, telling them that we need to give updates to the media, or we are conforming to the government announcement. Yeah, to push them to respond.
So it's like you just have to follow the local news and see what we can use to kind of like support our point. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, definitely. You have to follow closely to the with the movement, with the updates of the movement, and then you have to utilize the updates of the movement and use that as the pressure to this corporation.
Thank you. Right. So the next question, what do you do for local companies that may not have a regular format for email addresses and are difficult to contact?
Can you repeat, please?
Sure. So there are some local companies that may not have a regular format of emails. Like for example, CP will have like at cpf.com or something like that. But some local companies just don't have the domain, the formal domain at all. So what do you do? Jonathan, if I didn't explain your question accurately, please feel free to unmute yourself and explain more as well.
Yeah, that's accurate. And apart from the domain, we've found some companies in Taiwan just have like random numbers or letters for email addresses. So compared to most companies, maybe in the West, where it might be first name then last name, it might just be EFC34. And I was just wondering if you've encountered that at all in Thailand.
Yes, Jonathan, that's a really tough one for me myself. Yeah, for myself. That one usually is it's always require a lot of time, and that's always involve cold calling. And also another suggestion I have is that find out if they are part of any association, meaning if they are hotel, or if they are like catering company. Find out if they are like member of the hotel association, Taiwan Hotel Association, or like Taiwan Association of Caterer, and then find out and you will find them in being in the list of the member, and then that way you can also find out the email address. Yeah, there's no exact formula really to find the contact information. For me, it's every angle. It's the cold calling, the personal contact, and also digging really deep online and offline. Yeah, do the deep research.
So the next question. Right, next question. You mentioned that NGOs working together discreetly to create more will create more success. How many organizations working together in Thailand when you reach successes, and are they local organizations or international? So here in Indonesia, we currently work only with Sinergia. I think this question is from Animal Friends Jogja. So in Indonesia, we currently only work with Sinergia Animal because there's no other local organizations working on this campaign.
Hi, Angelina. We do not, if they are the organization within Open Wing Alliance, yes, we do communicate. We do communicate with them, and we will reach out to, we usually people will reach different organization. They will talk to each other if they know that we are talking to the same organization. We will sorry, I'm looking for the right word. Time to time we have to give like updates. So on Slack, we check with each other who we are talking to, and sometimes it's like campaign or not campaign, or not campaign to campaign, or not to campaign. Are you ready? Yeah. So Angelina, we have to work very closely together, and we have to update regularly. And most of the time we have to check with each other, like who are you talking to, who are you applying the pressure, who are you going to campaign. Yeah, I hope that answer your question.
So Ina, if you would like to ask follow-up questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask more as well. It's fine, but I'm gonna read out your next question. How did you reach out to those NGOs to work together with you? I think June has already answered that already. We use Slack channel mostly because we actually the only organization in Thailand to work on the cage-free campaign. So the collaboration that happens usually come from the international level. June, would you like to add anything apart from that?
Angelina.
I learned that. Oh, I yeah. It's like I'm confused that well, I think we discussed it before. Yeah, like we cannot like Animal Friend Jogja and Sinergia. We are in the same coalition, but we should not reach out to same company. So they won't get upset or something like that. Like, why are you reaching me and this organization reaching me out? So
Most of
what
the
should we do?
Ina, you are breaking up a little bit, so if you could please repeat the last sentence, it would help a lot. Yeah, we didn't understand what you said towards the last 3 seconds at all.
Yeah, like we discussed before in the coalition that we should not reach out to the same companies. And what should we do with this kind of like NGOs working discreetly to reach out to companies? So we all send similar push to same companies. That would be okay.
Yeah, we have been doing that. We have companies telling us they have different organization reaching out to them on the same regarding the same agenda, regarding the same goal. And that's really how we work. That's really how we work, right? Wish, do you have anything to add?
Sure. I think if please feel free to explain again, Ina, if I didn't understand your question correctly and that my explanation didn't answer your question. But so if we work discreetly, we will. It's fine if the other organization would like to reach out to the same company. We don't have any agreement that, okay, if I reach out to this company, then you will not do the same. We don't have that agreement at all. What we usually do is that we do not share contacts with other NGOs, even though we are working together. And they completely understand why we don't share the emails or the phone numbers that we have found online. It's simply because if we share the contacts that we have researched with the other NGO who we are supposed to work discreetly together, it would be too obvious for the company that, oh, we are, Sinergia Animal is working with XXX organization because they are reaching out to the same person. It would be too obvious. So we share everything together, but not the context. But how it usually turns out is that Sinergia Animal and the other organization we collaborate with discreetly will reach out to different people in the same company because we use different tools to do research, right? But eventually we will arrive at the like 1 or 2 same people in the company because there are usually 1 or 2 people who are responsible for sustainability policy or animal welfare policy in the company. So I hope that answers your questions. Would you like to ask for a follow-up, Ina? It seems like you have something else to say.
Not really.
That's good.
Go ahead.
No, thank you so much. If we don't have any more questions, I think this is the end of this first internal learning webinar session. Thank you so much. June, if people still have more questions for you, how can they contact you? I think you're muted.
Yeah. So feel free to reach me on Slack, on my email, and yeah, together we really have to push this together. We really have to work this forward. And I would like to thank everyone for joining the session today.
So yes, thank you very much, June. Thanks for agreeing to be our speaker in this first ever internal learning webinar sessions. And I would like to also thank everyone who spent your time joining this learning session as well, even though you're far away. So I would like to just inform you that this series is going on. We will have the next session today at 5 to 6 p.m. Indochina time and 6 to 7 p.m. from Taipei, Beijing, or Hong Kong. And if you would like to know the time, if you would like to know the exact time, according to your time zone, please feel free to send me an email to ask about that as well. But the next session will also happen today in a few hours. And yeah, it's gonna be from Lindsay Duncan from World Animal Protection UK. She's going to talk about Change for Chickens campaign. It's a campaign to improve broiler chickens against KFC and Nando's. I think this is very interesting. And even though we work in Asia, we can learn a lot from her and just use something that we think is applicable in our respective countries that we are working in as well. So I hope to see you there if you have time and free, of course. And I think we reached the end of this session. Thank you so much again for joining. I would like to invite everyone to unmute yourself and clap your hands for Janjari, our speaker. I just like this tradition very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
I borrow them. Yeah. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Have a great day,
much.
evening, afternoon. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.